wave. Come on, give them a wave to the crowd. This is one of the...
So what the odds is going to do is it can do something called a neutral turn. So basically selecting neutral, pull it back on one of the tillers or the sticks, and going around and round and round. There you go. But you can see it does look like a boat, and that's essentially what it is. So he's having fun, look at that. Oh, I could do this all day, he says. Yeah, but you can see the propeller on the back, which will swing down into its drive gear and then quite happily swim for forever until it runs out of fuel, really. Yeah, so it's a very, very nice bit of kit. Very, very rare. Well, incredibly rare. I mean, the only one that we know of that's actually running and driving, and very, very, very nicely restored. And it's coming out to play. So, we bring up the SVR. So this is
famous Russian T-34, first encountered by the Germans in 41. But actually, as it's going past, you might like to have a look at the guy in the turret. Any of you who watch combat dealers, you might recognise him. Bruce, give them a wave. Come on, give them a wave to the crowd. This is one of the few tanks he hasn't bought yet. But anyway, look at the T-34s, yes. Introduced 5 degrees, and the same shell would have to go through about 4 inches of armour to get through. So you protect the vehicle much better without increasing the weight. Now, it's turning the turret, there are going to be a couple of bangs, quite big. You'll hear them bounce off the trees as well. So those of a nervous disposition, and the hull, those were for the Russian soldiers to cling on. There we are, nothing like having a full stop. There's going to be another one. I think there was only 2, wasn't there, Andy? Yep, only 2. There you are. Also, if you look at them carefully, they're very crudely built. Very effective, but very crude. You know, you can see the weld seams and everything else. And they were basically made up in tractor plants. And so what they did, in one famous case at Stalingrad, they literally drove the new tanks off the assembly line straight into battle. They could be driven by any sort of peasant farmer, and actually the owner and driver of this tank, he hates me saying this, but he's a farmer himself, and he makes a lovely job of it. That's probably made Bruce lose a bit of weight.
not a bad little toy, actually, to be honest. The carrying capacity in the back is 10 trips, 4 liters, or line or something like that. But from the mechanical point of view, the engine, or what they call the power pack, can actually be lifted out of the 432, put down in front of it outside, reconnected back up again, and you can run the engine. The driver jumps back in.
Drive, like the other CVRTs, they're all fairly common in themselves, and it would have a driver and a commander with each vehicle. Another area which we had at a previous show today is actually the VIP floor, which instead of having the missile system on the top, actually had a VIP seat in there, which they would use to transport people such as Tony Blair did one when he did a visit out to the front line in one of the conflicts. As you can see,
inside out backwards.
Oh, okay, there you
So
go.
that might be interesting.
Well, we'll leave them to that. So, brilliant. Thank you very much. Move on to the CRT now. Quite an interesting vehicle. I do like this. I'll let the money on and buy one.
Which is effectively a mobile anti-tank gun in a fixed turret. The Germans used a lot of those. Later in the war, when they found it was more expensive to build tanks with rotating turrets, they put the gun into a fixed turret vehicle. And
few used in training in Italy and also in India, but they weren't used operationally.
Thank you very much for that. Let's move.
the Royal Navy flag, that is in very, very nice condition, beautiful polished. Actually, nothing wrong with it.
There. I'm glad that's over. That's only my ears, that's not yours. Right, going to the big Russian kit now. So this is basically a prime mover, is what they call. So a big Arctic unit. It was basically used for towing the absolutely massive missiles that the Russian army had. Now, he did tell me that he thinks he's found a trailer for this. But these things, it's 8-wheel drive, 4-wheel steer, go anywhere, loads of smoke, loads of noise, and loads of fun. He brings it every year. He brings it every year and just plays with it. It's absolutely awesome. It's really, really good. But I dread to... Right, let's get the other one in. So,
it was absolutely brilliant in its conception. Only one was ever made until I made the second. The optional armament was in fact a 20mm cannon for firing.
So, I'm getting thrust another bit of paper. There we go. So the Rugged Robin 2/3 track. So it says here, this vehicle.
Use it in the Iraqi war as a fast attack vehicle. And there are a few models, and this is one of the first models.
Awesome. Which engine? Oh, VW. Okay. And does it jump? Yeah, oh, he says yes, it jumps. This looks like a lot of fun. It really does. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Right. The Elvis Stalwart, or the Stolly.